Thank you for joining me on this brief overview of the GDAP guide for CSP. Granular Delegated Admin was introduced late last year, and it will become mandatory as of 2023. So for partners who want help in transitioning from DAP to GDAP, Microsoft has produced a very exhaustive guide. And the goal of this little recording is to help partners navigate through this guide, hopefully expedite the process to understand the changes. The first thing to understand is the value and vision of Microsoft in this. As most of you already know, Microsoft operates on a zero trust policy, and recent events in the world have made Microsoft and Microsoft partners a target of bad actors. And the privileges that DAP gives seem to be too wide for that zero trust mindset. So with that, they've introduced granular delegated admin privileges so that they are able to provide only the least privileged access to partners so that partners are able to accomplish only the tasks that they want to do on behalf of customers and not have the whole wide access, the whole keys to the kingdom. The features of GDAP is compared to the old DAP is the fact that now it does have an expiration date. DAP was continuous. GDAP now has a limit of 730 days. Also, there's a lot more supported roles. Instead of just giving a blanket global admin role, as with DAP, GDAP now supports all the Azure Active Directory roles. Partners can now also create security groups instead of just having everyone be an admin agent. There's reporting options that come with GDAP for compliance and best security practices. And of course, there's now a termination option from both the end customer and the partner for GDAP. So how it works is pretty much the same thing as the DAP process. The partner invites the end customer to have a relationship with them. This is all based on the Azure AD tenant. And depending on the type of invitation, it gives different admin roles to the partner on the end customer tenant. When we want to transition from DAP to GDAP, there's 5 things to consider, and we will cover them again on an expedited fashion, but you will have access to the guide if you are looking to do all of this yourself granularly. So the first thing you will want to do is to audit your existing DAP connections. There's a section in the Partner Center devoted to this. First, you have to log into the Partner Center, and then you go in the upper right corner and click on the little gear or wheel, which will then allow you to get to the Account Settings dashboard. From here, you can click on the Security Center and then drill down to the administrative relationships. So in this dashboard, you will see everything about the active connections, the inactive connections, connections that have not been active for a very, very long time, to help you understand which of those connections should remain active and which you can terminate. To remove the inactive DAP connections, it's pretty simple. You can do it directly from those same screens in the Partner Center. As we can see from the screenshot, there is a button. You can even do it en masse by selecting all of your customers and disable DAP. Once DAP is removed, the end customer will receive a confirmation. Now, to start planning for your transition, as mentioned before, one of the main things is going to be on the granular side of it, like the G in GDAP, which is to create different security groups and security roles for your Partner Center users so that whenever they go into end customer tenants, they only have the access that they need to operate. So it is in the Partner Center. You still have to have the same permissions, which is the admin agent permission to see this section. And for your admin agents, they will be able to access a submenu, admin relationships, under the customer, and you will be able to select request an admin relationship. Once the admin relationship is selected, as we now see, you do have the duration with a maximum, again, of 730 days. And the Azure AD roles that you want to include in this admin relationship. And there's some examples on the right of the different types of permissions that you would want to give one of your administrators. Once those are selected, the invitation email is created in the portal, but much like DAP, the only really important part of that email that's created is the URL. It's the unique URL for each partner to the end customer with the type of roles that are included. So some partners will prefer to just copy that URL, log in on behalf of the customer in the private window as a global admin, and then accept themselves for these new roles, or to create a custom email that's more with their company logo and all the other uh, all the other things that you would normally include in an email. On the end customer side, they will receive a similar message as from a DAP, where it's in the settings section of the Enter65 Admin Center under Partner Relationships, where they will be able to approve. And then there's an email confirmation that's sent to everyone. When it comes to the role assignment, as discussed before, you now have to create a security group. And then once the security group is created, you can add a user to that security group so that they will have the inherited permissions. So we have some examples here whenever there's a list with the test customers. So under those admin relationships, when you select the one that's in this case a beta, you can now see the different roles that's in here, which is an Intune administrator, and then you can add the security group, choose the roles that you want to include in this security group. Then the users in that security group, the help desk agents, will now be Intune administrators for the purposes of this example. Whenever you have those roles, this section does not change from the DAP service. So you go into service management, and then you have access to the end customers' workloads that are active and the different admin centers. So you can log in there through Delegated Admin. When it comes to the termination, you can do it directly from the admin relationships menu in the partner center, or you can also go into the security center in the account settings dashboard as seen before. But if you want to terminate, specific relationships, it's better to do it from the admin relationships section instead of the blanket termination from the security center. Whenever a relationship is added or terminated, there's an email that's generated from this, and the customer can do it themselves, just like they were able to do it before in the Partner Relationships tab in the M365 Admin Center. The expiration of Granular Delegated Admin, as mentioned before, does have a maximum of 730 days, and right now, for security reasons, there are no auto renewals that are permitted. So whenever your relationship is about to reach its end before the expiration, you will have a 30-day, 7-day, and 1-day notice before the expiration date. Unfortunately, it cannot be renewed again, so you will have to send a new relationship request to continue if this relationship warrants renewal. Everyone receives confirmations from this. The partner in the admin relationship can see the status of the current relationships, but can see the ones that are expired. Same view for the end customer in the partner relationships tab from the M365 Admin Center, can see the status of those relationships. And when you want to audit in the Partner Center, it would be in the Account Settings dashboard. The option is called the Activity Log on the left navigation pane. And then you just choose the selected date, and then you can actually export this to a CSV file so that you can extract the information that you want from here. And finally, to disable DAP, well, it's the same option in the Security Center to remove the DAP connections, the same thing that we had covered for the inactive connections. And that's the end of the overview. This is, again, a 55-page guide, so I went extremely fast over it, but hopefully you found some value in this, and it will allow your transition from DAP to GAP to be that much smoother. Thank you.